What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the full download for Season 2, all free rewards, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But since I finished the Dark Matter grind over in multiplayer, I've since been jumping back and forth between Warzone and Zombies, working on Abyss and Nebula. Thankfully, Camo Challenge tracking is releasing this Tuesday, January 28th, but unfortunately, I don't know if the feature is actually coming to Warzone just yet. It wasn't really inferred that it was. It was really implied that the feature itself will be for MP and Zombies, at least at launch. Maybe it'll come to Warzone later on in the season. With that being said, as you guys may have seen over the last few days, we got the Season 1 outro cutscene, followed by the Season 2 intro. Now, I will say the Season 2 intro is definitely a step up from the Season 1 cutscene. It tells a bit more of a story. It doesn't focus as much on advertising the multiplayer maps or any type of gameplay. It actually does further the plot a little bit with Savati Dumas and a mysterious figure who's been sent after her over in Avalon. My issue again is that the campaign didn't really focus too much on the crime syndicates or Savati all that much, so I wonder how many more cutscenes are going to be focused on this little side plot that has now taken over the post-launch story, and I'm still wondering if they're going to even follow up on the identity of the Pantheon, the Cradle. I mean, what's going to happen with Woods and Adler? Will they tie all this together to the greater Black Ops story? Lots of questions that I hope do get answered over the next few months. Now, I think it's also great they brought back season outros to really close out whatever story was being told. Again, I just don't think Treyarch's really been working on the post-launch for BO6 the way they did Cold War, because they're probably busy and at work with the narrative of the next Call of Duty, which releases in under a year. So you guys might remember this particular operator skin, which got rumored to be the level 1000 reward many months ago. That ended up not being the case, as Agent Samuels from the original Black Ops 2 ended up being the operator reward. We all figured, okay, maybe that skin was scrapped ultimately or is being saved for something else. Well, it looks like the skin could actually be seen in the recent Season 2 gameplay trailer, which means the skin itself probably got repurposed into what could be a free reward at some point throughout the season, or might end up just being locked behind an upcoming bundle. So far, when it comes to cosmetics, looks like there is a bit more of a focus on milsim skins, nothing too crazy or wacky. Obviously, those skins will also come later on in the season, but it's cool to see them switch things up a little bit and go back to some more basic and tactical skins that I know some folks out there have been asking for. Now, there's also plenty to discuss when it comes to the Season 2 Battle Pass, which I'll be circling back to in a separate video soon, and we of course still have the release of the cosmetic focused blog post that I'm sure is going to release at some point on Monday. But I would certainly expect some free operators to release at some point in some future challenge events. We know Season 2 is already a big step up when it comes to what events are being offered. Would not be surprised to see additional operators. Now, what's also cool is earlier today, it looks like a free charm became available if you go ahead and buy select items over in the Call of Duty online shop. So if you purchase any item from the Juggernog collection, you'll end up getting a code, which is only going to be available until February the 7th. It'll be a relatively rare charm. It's a Juggernog can holding a Warzone armor plate, which I think is pretty damn funny. And overall, I think it's cool to see some promos here and there. They come with exclusive digital items. I don't really mind it, but obviously it gets extreme when you see an item that costs upwards of $300, but then you'll get a camo in return that isn't even animated. And I know some folks out there in the replies to some detonated tweets did mention that a very similar looking camo to the gold Lightning Wonderwaff one did end up dropping recently for one of the CDL team packs. I also saw this image floating around of another rare charm that apparently has been vaulted and was only available for a limited time a couple of weeks back if you bought some select items from the COD shop as well. So keep your eyes on the COD shop if you guys are some major collectors that want to go ahead and collect every digital item. With that, and speaking of CDL, there are also some free drops that are going to be available starting next weekend. These will be rewards that you can use in both Black Ops 6 and Warzone. So we have the Major 1 event happening in Madrid, and this will be taking place from January 30th until February the 2nd. So the rewards will be unlocked by watching Major 1 for specific periods of time, but just to be clear, you can only claim some of these day-specific rewards on the day of the event. So if you miss day 1 and 2, you can't claim those days' rewards while watching days 3 and 4. Hopefully that's clear, but the rewards will range from double XP tokens, double weapon XP tokens, which will always last around an hour. You'll also see calling cards, emblems, stickers, a charm, and lastly, on day 4, after watching for 2 hours at least, you end up locking the Sprinkle weapon blueprint. Luckily, footage of this blueprint already popped up over on the internet. I believe a couple of months ago, a couple of CDL blueprints were data mined and were thought to have been a part of the Christmas event, but they weren't. They were actually part of CDL. Again, CDL is currently exclusive to YouTube Gaming, so you have to make sure you link your Call of Duty and YouTube accounts together so that your watch time does get tracked. But more information about linking your accounts will be down below in the detonated article. It may take a while for these rewards to pop up in game. They should be usable throughout the duration of Season 2, but worst case scenario, you might have to wait until mid-February with Reloaded before you'll actually see these items on your account. Now, before we get into some other Season 2 focus rewards, I do want to mention the preload, which officially popped up earlier this evening. A couple of days ago, I mentioned that a random 7 gig download popped up for certain people out there on Battle.net. Not really sure what that was about. May have been a bug or may have been something on the back end that was important for Season 2, but today the full Season 2 download did appear on Battle.net, and it's around 25 gigabytes in size. Obviously, there's a new round-based map in there, plenty of content for multiplayer, and some really healthy quality of life updates for Warzone. So the season itself does start this Tuesday, so at any point before Tuesday morning, expect this preload to show up on just about every platform apart from Steam. Xbox gets the preloads now, that's obvious. PlayStation always does, but for some reason Steam typically never does get a preload unless it's the actual launch of the game. But when it comes to a new season, Battle.net typically sees the download first and foremost. So maybe over the course of this weekend, refresh your platform, double check if there's an update available, and get that downloaded before the install, which is going to be this Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock Central, and 12 o'clock Eastern. So jumping into some other rewards for Season 2, let's start off with the War Machine score streak. Just like with the hand cannon in Season 1, this new streak is going to be locked behind an event reward. We're just not sure right now which event is going to feature the War Machine. I'm going to guess it's probably the Terminator event, which does begin during the first week of February. It'll be the first event of Season 2, but as they confirmed in the recent blog, this is a powerful burst fire grenade launcher with grenades that explode on impact, featuring a large magazine. So this is going to be a little bit different from the War Machine we saw over in Cold War, but it might arguably be better, and there is some gameplay of the War Machine that was featured in the recent Season 2 multiplayer trailer, and a little bit that was shown in the Tomb gameplay trailer earlier this afternoon. As they mentioned in the blog though, the War Machine comes equipped with 30 rounds firing in 3-round bursts. When you need to clear an area fast, there are few better options than this destructive armament. And yes, I believe the kills you get with this War Machine will actually count towards your nuke if that's what you're going for, similar to the hand cannon. And again, as we also saw with Cold War, it's a deadly combo when you have both the War Machine and the hand cannon in your inventory. Now, as I said earlier, the War Machine is almost a bit unrecognizable upon first glance in some of the recent trailers, but should be a fun weapon to try out whenever it does end up dropping. And yes, it will be supported over in Zombies, which you can buy at a crafting table for a fairly high amount of salvage. But you're gonna have to wait until the War Machine does get unlocked through whatever event that it's actually tied to. As far as game modes go for multiplayer, there's also a good number of them that are gonna be dropping throughout the duration of our second season. First off, we have Overdrive, a brand new mode available right away at launch this Tuesday the 28th. As I said, kick into Overdrive in this charged up twist on TDM. Teams compete to be the first to reach the maximum number of stars. Earn these stars by executing the following maneuvers. So to get 1 star, you have to do a basic elimination. 2 stars have to be metal eliminations like headshots or melee attacks. And for 3 stars, you have to complete distinguished metal eliminations, which I believe have to do with finishing moves. But as you earn stars, you'll get several different gameplay benefits which enhance your character, like the ability to see enemies through walls and replenish your health after eliminating a target, so that's crazy quick fix. There's also the ability to get increased movement and reloading speed, followed by the ability to have improved hipfire accuracy and improved sprint to fire and ADS speeds. If you earn all 3 buffs, then you'll activate Overdrive, which will allow you to earn double the stars when eliminating enemies, thus ending the game even faster. At launch, we're also going to see the addition of Gun Game, and I wonder if we're going to see any unreleased DLC weapons while playing this fan favorite party game mode. Probably the ballistic knife, or maybe even something else that isn't meant to actually drop until closer to the mid-season. There'll be the same set of 20 weapons that you'll be able to use in each match of Gun Game that I'm sure they'll end up refreshing in some future seasons as well. And yes, meleeing a player will also set them back a weapon, as we saw in some older Call of Duty titles. There are also some plans for Valentine's Day LTMs, which we'll talk more about in a separate video soon, but there's going to be third wheel gunfight. So essentially 3v3 3 gunfight is going to be added in. And then we have Couples Dance-Off, which will strictly be 2v2 face-off on TDM, Domination, and even Kill Confirm. Now, we also have other rewards tied to events that we don't know too much about just yet, like the perk, for example, Slipstream. It's going to be in perk slot 3, which raises your base sprint speed at the cost of removing tack sprint. Bit of a gamble there. Then we also have the Hunter's Instinct perk coming at mid-season. In perk slot 2, eliminating an enemy marks the next closest target. And then we have a new wildcard called Fly Swatter, also releasing with Reloaded, allowing a player to replace their dedicated melee with a launcher. But the last thing I'll end with is the big set of ranked play rewards for both multiplayer and Battle Royale. Obviously, hackers are a big issue when playing ranked play, more than it's an issue with playing regular pubs. Luckily, Ricochet is getting an update this week, which hopefully irons out some of the hacking issues, but regardless of that, and no matter what Ricochet does, you'll have the ability to turn off crossplay if you're playing ranked through a console. So if you're on PlayStation, you can limit your matchmaking to just going up against other PlayStation people. Same goes for Xbox, considering that most of the hackers out there are, of course, on a PC. But as far as all the rewards go, we got this graphic. Starting off with multiplayer, you'll get a Jackal PDW blueprint for getting 10 wins, and you can also get a large decal for getting 100 wins, followed by other cosmetics for hitting specific rank milestones like silver, gold, diamond, even top 250, and number 1 overall. You get very exclusive calling cards and camos, as you guys can see. But I do believe if you do hit Iridescent, for example, you'll still get all the rewards for having passed silver, gold, platinum, diamond, even crimson. And there's also a set of camos that you can earn just by starting in or reaching a specific division. So again, if you were to hit Iridescent, then you would also be able to earn the camos for having passed through the previous divisions on top of that. And then for Warzone, we have a similar set of rewards. Your first season win will give you a charm, whereas 25 eliminations will give you a sticker, followed by a weapon camo that you get for getting 100 kills in Battle Royale ranked. 250 kills will give you a weapon blueprint, followed by all the other cosmetics you can see for hitting specific divisions, and then there'll be other rewards that you can earn as the seasons do progress. I'm assuming we're going to switch to Verdansk for Battle Royale ranked once Season 3 does roll around, so this may end up being the final season that you'll be grinding on Urzikstan. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on all Season 2 rewards that we know of right now for Black Ops 6 and Warzone? Which rewards are you looking forward to the most? Leave all your thoughts down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.